In today's episode, we're talking Disney date nights.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are listening to the Main Street Magic Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Stein and John Marone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by the president of the Bachelorette Fan Club, John Marone.
Good afternoon.
And even better, we are back with two very special guests, my wife, Rhonda, and John's wife, Michelle. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
In today's episode, we have another roundtable discussion on the ultimate Disney date night. If you haven't listened to episode 48 on adult-only Disney, go back and check it out. Please check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at mainstmagic. So last episode, we talked more about a adults-only Disney, which would encompass basically like an entire weekend. You got leave the kids at home. You know, maybe the in-laws are watching them. But now we want to talk about you're at Disney, and whether it's, 3 nights, it's 7 nights, but you want to find a night for the adults to get away from the kids. Maybe you got about 4 to 6, 7, 8 hours. What are you going to do? So first, let's talk childcare, because your kids are there with you at Disney. What are you going to do with them so you can get away and have that Disney date night? What are you doing with the kids, John?
So I think 2 things. First is if you're able to have a family member who can take them, that's obviously the least expensive. So if you have extended family traveling with you, to be able to line it up with them. So that would be number 1. Number 2, and we've used it before, is the child care offering. So
Yep.
You do have at the Beach Club, you have the Sandcastle Club, you have Simba's Playhouse at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then you also have Lilo's Playhouse at the Polynesian. Those are all 3 that are owned and run by Disney. Disney has recently announced that all 3 of those will be closing, and if I'm correct on the date, it's the end of July.
Yeah.
Which is pretty disappointing because
Sad.
We've used them, and we've talked about this closing, how it impacts us, because we've used the Sandcastle Club to do Party for the Senses, or we've used it to go have dinner and then do jelly rolls and kind of stay around the boardwalk area. And, the kids, we know they're going to have fun, they're going to be fed, and they love being there. And it was one flat price, to drop them off at 4:30 or 5, and, they can stay there until midnight. So with all those closing and those announcement of what's going to happen, in their announcement, Disney did say that in-room childcare is still an option, but that is not Disney. That's an outside company that you would hire to have them come and stay in your room with your children. Which I think most of the comments online, as well as the comments that we've had amongst ourselves, is probably not something we want to do. I mean,
Right.
Even though they say they're licensed or contracted, I just think leaving an adult alone with a child in a room with no outside supervision, to me, has some sort of liability or at least worry there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For it. I know you do it at home, but it's usually with a neighbor or a friend or somebody you know.
Right. Well, and there's
not a
stuff to
complete
do at
stranger.
home.
Well,
like,
yeah,
there's nothing to do in a
right.
hotel room. What are they going
Right.
to sit and watch? Like, did they bring games? Did they bring...
Right.
Yeah.
And the kids would go and had a blast. They kept them
they
so
loved
busy,
it.
the activities, that
Absolutely.
they would, make cookies. They kept them entertained.
When
And they would
they're
come
also
home with stuff. I mean,
Character or something that came
right.
to
Yeah.
Yep.
Characters would come, and, we would go pick them up, and they didn't want to leave.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially like, Kaylin, who, well, she's now 10. I guess the last time she was 9, we would drop her off, and it was almost this like, ugh, I got to be here.
Right.
And we go to pick her up, and she was like, I never want to leave.
Right.
So I think it's so disappointing. I really hope that there's something in the works to replace this, but we do have other options at Swan and Dolphin,
Yeah, at
right?
least we
Yeah,
still
so
have
you have
that.
Camp Dolphin at the Dolphin Resort.
Greatest name ever.
Yeah, which we've used it once, and it was fine. Nothing. I want to say that.
It's small.
Yeah, it's smaller. I think I forget what. Gavin might have gotten in trouble there when he was younger for doing something, climbing on something or doing something. I don't remember. But that one, you can either pay by the hour, or you can pay a flat fee, And if you eat at a Swan or Dolphin sit-down restaurant, you'll get 2 hours free. So that would be Blue Zoo or Il Molino, Shula's Steakhouse, one of those.
Brilliant.
Or if
that's
you
huge.
do a spa. So
Yeah.
if you
Wow.
do the spa at night, you also get 2 hours free. But with that being the only one there, we'll have to see what happens with the crowds. And where I would say that you tend to see the crowds more, obviously, is during Food and Wine. Right?
Of
Where
course.
you can
Yeah.
drop the kids off and go through
Walk
the back
right
gate
over.
at Epcot and be able to spend a few hours without them and have a good time.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, and I guess the final option, which was our last episode, was just, leave them at home. If you have the ability, and you can still have some Disney date nights, but
But it's hard too as they get older
is.
because how do you tell your kids, hey, we're going to Disney without you?
Yes.
right. We don't
You know?
tell them. We tell them we're going on a work
Yeah,
trip.
well, I mean, eventually they're going to find
They're gonna
out.
find out.
They're not getting any
Well,
younger. We can't do this
And
for long.
I guess as the kids get older, and this is something Rhonda and I have done, is that we will leave them in the room. I mean, they all have iPads. They've got iPods. They can
Most
text
of the
us. They
time
can
I leave my
FaceTime.
cell phone.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Rhonda will leave her cell phone behind. But only
Just
if we're
in case.
staying within that resort.
Right.
So if we know that they're literally basically 100 yards away in a room, and we're just going to go down and maybe have a drink or something
Like
to
Wilderness
eat at a
Lodge.
bar. Yeah,
We stayed
Wilderness
there,
Lodge was perfect.
And they were up in the room, and first of all, you can put on the Disney TV, and they will just stare at it.
Right.
So we always leave that on, and then we have their iPads that they play on, and then I usually always leave my cell phone just in case something doesn't work with the Wi-Fi or whatever with the iPads.
Yeah.
And then we just went down to Geyser Point, which is
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's
Not
right there.
very
We could
far away.
communicate
It's just
as much as we
downstairs.
needed.
Yeah.
But again, with Kaylin being
Yeah, you have an
10,
older,
that's
right.
easier.
So when Alexis and Johnny aren't with us, that's
Right.
a situation
Yeah,
that we
it's-
just can't
it's,
do.
It's just not an option you have.
Right.
And again, as they get older in a couple of years, that can become an option. But so, all right, so let's move on. So we figured out just say what to do with the kids. And again, this is getting harder and harder without having the kids clubs. But I want to first talk, later we'll get into just multiple things, all the cool things to do as Disney date nights. But first I want to talk about what would be like your ultimate evening if you had to pick one place for drinks and apps, you had to pick one place for dinner, and then after dinner you had something to do for entertainment. Logistically, maybe they're within the same area, but now with minivans and Uber availability, you could literally go from place to place. What are you thinking, John, for those drinks and apps, dinner, and then your final night of entertainment before you get the kids back?
So I almost think that we'll let Michelle and Rhonda take this one first, because I'm going to talk about what Michelle and I have planned for May, which kind of encompasses that. And that to me is one of those where this is, if a resort is value, moderate, and deluxe, what we're doing in May is deluxe. And then, where you fall in the other one. So I have some things that we can talk about, things that we've done in the past,
Perfect.
for this one. But we'll let them go first.
Okay.
And then
I'm
we'll
going to
talk
let
about May.
Michelle go second because she has been amazing. The only thing I'll say is as a joke, Jeremy asked me earlier when we were going to do this, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. You plan everything. So he was like, well, all
Because I
right.
do it so well.
Yes, you do. He was like, all right, let's just say I let you.
If
Your
you were to
mind
plan
will
it.
blow, but
Oh,
if
your head
you,
would totally
yeah,
explode if I said.
Well,
you
now
have
you're
to
gonna
plan
have
an
to be able to
entire
plan
evening.
Oh.
Yeah. I told you you're already planning our anniversary night, right?
Yeah, no,
Oh, I
because I'm
forgot
not
to say
doing
that.
that.
Okay. All right. All right. Fair enough.
Anyways,
All right.
I did say that I was like, all right, well, I guess with not knowing and not been a lot of places, I was like, I know my one client and friend told me the luau at the Poly, and I was like, okay, we could do that. Drinks at
Trader Sam's.
or
See, I'm already planning yours.
see, and
I already
I
started.
was gonna
I'll be
say,
quiet.
And that
I'll be
wasn't what you were
quiet.
gonna
Nope.
say,
I was
was it?
gonna say
I'll shut up.
California Grill.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. And then California Grill, drinks and apps, then go to Poly and enjoy the fun, luau thing. And then for entertainment, maybe just kind of stay there and watch the fireworks on the beach.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyways, we'll send it over to Michelle now.
Well, I am a little partial to California Grill. So, well, you know that's where John proposed.
So awesome.
Pre twins, that was our place, and I don't recall off the top of my head when we did this, but if you can book it at the right time and you can get the perfect table, you can go have your apps, you can go have your wine, you can go have your dinner, and you can just spend a nice evening waiting for those fireworks.
Yeah.
And you're in the one-stop place, and an amazing place, and the food is good, and you can knock it all out in one location. Now, I know that didn't answer your question on going to different places, but
it sounds like you don't have to.
you don't. I
That's
mean,
all
if you,
three
if
in
you
one.
can book it at the
Yeah.
perfect time and get
That's
that perfect
amazing.
table, which we were lucky to do one time, that's the ideal place to go. It is. And now they've extended the other side, and there's more places to go out and look at the fireworks and things like that back then that they didn't have. So that's the one I've got to go for.
Yeah, we went so much where we never had a reservation. We'd always just go and sit at the bar,
That's right.
have them put a
Yeah,
bottle of
that's true.
wine
Well, but
in the
that
ice chest.
One time we had the table by the window. Do you
Right.
remember that? It
Yeah.
was perfect.
Yep, but
And that was an adult-only weekend.
That was adult-only weekend. Yeah, but normally we would just go there. I mean, we'd go there a lot and just have
Right.
appetizers, a dessert.
Yeah, it's easy
have
when it's
wine
two
in
of you.
there.
I mean,
of
you
course.
can go sit at the bar and,
Yeah.
and work your way in.
I
Yeah,
know.
and then you
That's still
could
on our
head
list.
outside on
Right.
the deck and wait for the fireworks, and then propose. But the which that
That's
story
awesome.
was,
Oh,
it
that's a
was
good
it
story.
was
So
awesome.
slick.
No, it was awesome until they kept delaying the fireworks.
Oh, no.
Well, that and it was
Really?
cold.
It was cold,
That
yeah.
and it was cold, and John had a jacket on, and I kept trying to, hug him and warm up. It was getting chilly, and they kept delaying the fireworks, and he was being mean. He's like pushing me away, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" Well, little did I know he had the ring in his pocket, and I guess he was scared that I was gonna.
Feel
I
it?
just wanted to be warm,
Yeah.
and I'm
Or
like,
were you
"Why are
just
you
happy
acting
to see him?
I mean, like, why are you acting like this?" And then eventually,
Oh, that's awesome.
way later than
awesome.
expected, I found out why he was acting like that.
That is amazing.
But then, even with the fireworks being delayed, she's like, "We've seen them hundreds of times. We don't have to
Yes,
wait."
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go. It's
It's
cold.
cold, it's
You're not
cold.
sharing your coat with me.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so
So-
fun, though.
yeah. So back when it was wishes.
Yeah, back
So
when it was
back
wishes.
when it was wishes.
And
Yeah,
now
I was going to say,
Wishes
so
is
how sad are you
gone.
guys that
Oh,
that's gone?
I
Or
don't
is
even
that
talk about it.
just-
It makes me tear up just thinking
it-
about when I
yeah.
found out. I was like, just like the place. When we go there, it's like, that's our place.
Yeah.
And then when they were getting rid of that, I'm like, that's our fireworks. That's
Yeah.
gone now too, so
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
I'm getting over it.
Well,
I'm getting
that's
over
good,
it,
yeah.
slowly but surely.
So I think for me, and then we'll go over to John. I would start at Disney Springs. I love Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. Like it's
Yeah.
just such a cool spot, and we've done a date night there. We started when we sat outside on the boat, like
Oh, yeah.
air quote
We
boat
did.
Oh,
that
cool.
they have, and on a nice, good, like cool Florida evening. You can get drinks. They have really, really good appetizers, and then of course I'm gonna go over. Thanks to John, to Morimoto, I think for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Would be my definite
Surprised it's the
dinner
first
spot.
time that place has come up.
Oh, I know. That's
I don't
crazy.
know,
Like,
yeah.
and I mean, that to me would be the perfect date night dinner spot. And then we're gonna minivan over to Jelly Rolls for the evening entertainment. I love that place so much.
We know.
And it's funny because like for a date night,
How many other things are there to do in Disney?
3. For like a date night, it's I don't know that it's a place you would, because it's kind of like dirty, and there's you got the popcorn and you got, but I just think it is so much fun, and the fact that it's only, you didn't think it was dirty?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I love the fact
Maybe it
that
just had that
it wasn't
like
dirty.
feel.
Right.
Well, sometimes you'd have a couple of like dirty people walk in, but then we had the
Well, we saw
fake
that night with the
customer
dirty-
bouncer
yeah.
who got rid of
that
them.
was
Remember?
Security that night,
amazing.
but
Yeah.
But I
That
think
was
it's
fun.
just, I don't know, like, I like the fact, to me, it's more Disney date night because of the fact that their kids aren't allowed. Like, otherwise, everywhere else kids could be.
Yeah.
And again, if you're on a Disney date night, like we were kind of talking about the adult-only weekend, you don't want to be around kids.
Yeah.
As bad as it sounds. But, yeah, for me, like, those would be my 3. And I think the minivan over from Disney Springs over to Jelly Rolls in the Boardwalk area would just have that little extra, like it's not a limo, but it kind of is, So,
Well, because you're not driving.
right, exactly. So I think that's perfect. You don't have to do the Disney bus transportation and all of those things. But now for the king of Disney date night.
Jelly rolls.
No,
Just
that was mine.
kidding,
No,
I'm
I'm
kidding.
the prince. I'm the prince of Disney date night. We're gonna go to the king of Disney date night,
John
Mr. John
Maroon.
Marone. because he knows how to do Disney date night.
John Jelly Rolls.
Like
I'm not gonna mention Jelly Rolls.
I want to go on a date with John.
I thought you were meeting the king of events, Jelly Rolls.
No, I want to go on a date with John.
I wish I remember, and I don't know if you do, Michelle, where we ate, but we went for, gosh, it must have been for our anniversary. We stayed at Animal Kingdom. We went and ate dinner. I don't remember where we went.
Is that right?
And then I got one of the in-room celebrations. And so the in-room celebration
Wasn't that Victoria and Albert's
probably
night?
was Victoria and Albert's.
It was.
So we went to Victoria and Albert's, and then
It
I
was.
did one of the in-room celebrations. So the in-room celebration, they still have it, but when we did it, and I don't know if she ever
amazing.
knew how much it was, so I guess she's going
No.
to find out now. But the
Oh, gosh.
So the in-room celebration is they bring some flowers in the room. They have a framed picture of Mickey and Minnie that's autographed.
But
and
there's different ones you can
personalized to
get, right?
There are
You can
different
pick
ones.
different
There's not that
packages.
many.
Okay.
But there is a basket of bath items. So,
Bath towels were embroidered with
Yep.
Mickey and
We-
our
my
name.
God.
Remember?
yeah, so
it
two
was-
bath towels, each
Yeah,
with our
they're
names.
beautiful.
So ahead of time when I did that, I had to pick, I guess, whether I wanted the names in cursive or just in print.
And they're like
what
embroidered.
names on the
It's not
on the
vinyl.
towels. And so they're embroidered. And then they do rose petals from the door to the bed, all over the bed, and it's a heart on the
amazing.
bed with the rose petals and everything. So, and then you can also get it with champagne and chocolates as well, or not.
Yeah.
So, without the champagne and chocolates, the price on it now, I looked it up today, is, anybody want to take a guess?
No.
$4.99.
No, actually less than
$1,
that.
Bob.
$2.99.
$3.75.
Okay.
And I want
But back then it wasn't that much, probably. Huh?
$3.25, I remember. Either $300 or $3.25.
Pass holder or DVC discounts?
How did I not know how
Probably.
much that was?
I don't know. So,
He's sneaky like
yeah,
that.
I'm sneaky.
You're not getting any of this in April, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, right.
Aw,
and then you
man.
throw it on top of it. So that was neat where you went to dinner, came back, that was that. The only thing I
And it
will
was
say,
breathtaking. Like, they do not
Oh, and
skimp
then
on the
they-
petals. They
Yeah.
are real. it was
so-
and
beautiful.
then the
John,
other thing that they have in the room and where you get to keep is they have a bunch of the little candles that are flameless. And
Oh, yeah.
those were
And then wasn't
around.
something autographed and
the picture. The picture,
yeah,
the framed picture of Mickey and Minnie is autographed. So here's what I'll say: the rose petals and everything are great. If you happen to accidentally sit on them on top of the white
of a white
duvet,
comforter.
they do stain.
Oh no!
Yes.
So that
We were freaking out. Like, how much is the damage
when we checked out, I'm
expense
like
going to be? Because
Oh my
the
goodness.
white comforter had.
That is awesome.
Yes.
rose petal
But you guys were all good?
that. So
I don't know anymore. I didn't know how
You
much
have no
this
idea.
was. Who knows what the damage bill was?
So that's offered directly through Disney, though, correct?
Yes.
But I'm guessing it's like a third party that comes in, but you can book it directly through Disney, correct?
yeah, you book it through Disney.
Okay.
It's part of the. So they have.
birthdays, all
birthdays,
kinds
they
of
have
stuff.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Any
They
event.
have
We've looked at it
welcome all that.
before, and
They're pricey.
I can tell y'all a little secret. No kids are around.
Well, then they can't listen
Then
to
they
this
can't
episode.
listen.
That's true. So should I say it?
No.
Go for it. We won't let
Well,
them listen
he
to this
can.
episode.
Yeah, you can turn it off just during this.
We'll fast
So
forward.
I looked at the same thing for the children, a birthday or some situation, and with the expense, I was like, holy crap, I can literally go to the Disney store and get
Right.
a shirt or get
Kohl's or
a stuffed
Target.
animal or eat Kohl's or Target, and any of those. Walmart, I think, even has Disney stuff.
Yeah.
And so it may have been a mistake I have made, but we
No, it was.
decided to do this, and Jeremy snuck away and because we would already be checked in at this point and we could get into our room, and so Jeremy would run off where I was
Basically, every time we
doing
get to
stuff.
Disney, I have to go to the bathroom. So my kids probably think I have some sort of problem.
Well, we
It's
were
your
in a
excitement.
car,
It's your excitement
my
that makes you have to
hours.
potty.
That's my excuse every time. I gotta go to the
So-
bathroom.
but yeah, we were in a car for 2.5 hours. But he would go and he would lay all this stuff on the bed, and the girls, I mean, just the reaction from them
Yeah.
that they would walk in and go, look what Mickey left. I mean, it was just amazing. And Michelle, when we took Gianna
Yeah.
one year,
Oh, well, now when we go with y'all, we all have to do it because they can't come to your room and not come to our room.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Sorry, but I will never forget. Even Gianna, it was just priceless.
Yeah.
The girls had Gianna
Yeah.
spend the night, and it was her first sleepaway, and it was fan-freaking-tastic because
Yeah.
she just was amazing, and the girls all had the same matching shirts, and just they were jumping on the bed because that's the only time they can jump on the bed is at Disney, but they're
so
were
excited every time.
so happy,
Yeah.
and to
But
see that.
I think
was-
for people that are traveling, that are flying, that
Yep.
just can't do. I mean, the company is just.
That's
It's great.
amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to
You
worry
don't
about the
have to
stress
worry
of
about
having
it.
to potty and trying
Yeah.
to sneak into
and
the room.
And I have some
you
stories
can't pack
I can
in
go
your
into,
suitcase.
like another episode about how this didn't work out so well, specifically with a life-size Stitch at Pop Century when it was 90 degrees out, and I couldn't get in the room while they're waiting in the lobby. So I think, having the company come in and provide
That-
all this,
yeah.
and there's
Maybe
no
worth the money.
stress. There's no stress. There's no worry. It's
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. But so, all right. So, John, you have had, obviously, you're like the ultimate Disney date night guy. What are you doing after the rose petals and the autographed Mickey and Minnie and?
Yeah, so that ends that. So that ends that night. So let's talk about this May. So we always go. Mother's Day, Michelle's birthday is usually right about the same time every single year.
Two for
Within-
one. Two
yeah.
for one.
There you
So,
go. Lucky.
It'll knock it out. So this May, if you do it and you say date night, so we're staying at Bay Lake Towers. We'll then take the monorail to the Polynesian, where we will drop the kids off at the Lilo's Clubhouse. I guess that'll probably be one of the last times that we ever do
Aw.
that. And then we will either walk or take the monorail to the Grand Floridian, and then we're having dinner at Victoria and Albert's.
Yes.
And then we'll
Man.
retrace our steps back that night. So we will still have the kids with us that night after dinner, but that will be okay because after 10 courses and wine pairings, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we just pick up the right
Yeah,
kids.
for some people, I'm sure that they don't want food for a birthday gift. I am all about food and
yeah?
wine. This is
awesome.
Well, but
this
you're-
is the perfect birthday Mother's Day gift. We love it. This is what we love and enjoy to do.
What you're looking at, and you guys have done Victoria and Albert's before.
This will be our second time, yeah.
But you're not, again, it's different than just going, all right, we're going to go eat food.
Right.
Like, there's one thing to go eat food, there's one thing to have a culinary experience,
right.
and that's what you guys are getting to do with Victoria and Albert's. It's not, again, like, it's one thing if you're like, hey, let's go to Golden Corral for
Right.
your birthday. Maybe not a great
which
gift.
I would hope you wouldn't.
But for, oh, I didn't tell you. But for, again, for an absolute event in food like nothing else, that's amazing.
You're not rushed. You can talk. You can communicate. You
Yeah.
can spend hours together, and it is the perfect birthday Mother's Day gift. So.
That is so cool.
And you have to
I'm
get the
ready.
coffee at the end.
And what? Oh yeah, that's right.
We know
because-
John's all about coffee at the end.
I
flying
don't.
fish.
I'm all about the espresso at the end.
That's
Espresso,
right.
pinky in
Flying
the air.
fish,
Let's
yep,
go,
yep,
Yeah,
espresso.
as long as it has a lemon twist.
Perfect.
But the coffee, they bring it out and they brew it at your table. So it's like a big siphon where they pour
that's
water
cool.
on top and it drips through.
Oh, wow.
And it's neat. So it's not just here's your glass of or cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
even
your
just seeing
Folgers.
that is actually really neat. So
Okay.
that's a place, and they there was a period of time. My parents used to go for their anniversary most every year, but they used to take Tables in Wonderland at that time. And the price, I want to say it was like maybe $105 a person for the multi-courses.
Does your dad even know how much that
That
is now?
no, he probably has no idea
Oh
how
my
much it is
gosh,
today.
he would freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He would. So it's what $185, I guess, a person now for the smaller tasting menu, and then if you go to the bigger one, or if you're at the chef's table or the Queen Victoria room,
Wow.
those are a little bit more expensive. And men, you got to wear a shirt and a jacket and tie.
Yep.
So you have to be
Oh,
in
wow.
the suit. Ladies have to be in a dress or that. So it's that nice thing that's fancy and well worth it, and you're definitely paying out for it, but the food's well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you can
definitely.
talk about, you could say, okay, $185 a person sounds crazy, but let's look at even a simple night of, like my night even. All right, you go to Jock Lindsay's. and you get an appetizer or two, and they're $15 each, and then you get a drink or two, and then you go to Morimoto's, and then you go to Jelly Rolls and get some more. Like, you can easily add up to $185 a person.
Oh, yeah. for
Anywhere
sure.
else, if you really sit down and have a meal, and you have appetizers and entrees and desserts and drinks. So, yeah, I mean, it's really not that bad. And for that experience in the, oh man,
It's
Not
definitely
that
the
bad, great for food, but remember, wine pairings are extra on
Right.
top of
of
it.
course, yes.
So
If
you
you're
know,
drinking
with the-
water, it's
yeah.
good.
So with the wine pairings, I forget there's different levels, but you're probably another 105 to 125 on top of the 185.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Oh, okay.
you're going to walk away for two people, and that and there's different add-ons that you can get with
Yeah.
some of the courses, where pure Japanese Wagyu beef in that. So you could be two people anywhere in that maybe $650 to $1,000 range for dinner.
Wow.
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 Depending
What,
what you
what
do
about
for
like
it.
a flask? Or we should.
I have one. I got one for Christmas.
There
Thanks
you
to
go.
Michelle.
Yeah, you
so,
sure did.
Yep, back pocket.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
why
have-
you wanted it,
yeah,
huh?
I'll have a Diet Coke with my meal flask.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Yeah. I'm getting the wine pairing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk. So we've kind of talked about each of our kind of ultimate date nights, but let's just throw out some other options. Because these were a little bit more aligned. Like, all right,
Elaborate.
well, yeah, but it's saying okay, drinks, apps, dinner, entertainment. But let's give kind of that a la carte. What are the other things that you think are great places for drinks and apps? Great places for dinner, great places for entertainment, and then if somebody wanted to piece together their own perfect evening, we can go with that.
Well, I think Michelle hit that when she said California Grill.
No. But I'm saying other areas. So
Well,
What
I've
are your favorite
got to give a
bars and
shout out to
lounges?
Ohana.
yeah,
I mean, I love Ohana.
Yeah.
They have a great bar. And John's kind of, they have a great, but think the food is good.
Yeah.
We haven't been without the kids, but I would totally go there, sit at the bar, have some drinks, or
Yep.
go sit in the little atrium area waiting for the table. They have all kinds of different drinks that you can get as well, and then go eat Ohana.
yeah.
I love Ohana.
Yeah,
the food
so-
is amazing.
Yeah, you like the food. I just look at it for a date. It's like it's a noisy place, and there's at one point there are going to be kids who are going to be sweeping coconuts, across the floor and some sort of race, while you're sitting there trying
dinner?
to eat during dinner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
But I'm good at blocking out at this point in my
Yeah, you
parenting
can-
stage, right? 3, 2, 1,
You've
block
had
out.
wines,
Yeah,
yeah.
So
absolutely.
again, so
right.
if I'm, to me, I want to stay away from the buffets. I want to stay away from the stuff that's going to be geared towards larger parties or kids. So again, I think there's 3 restaurants at the Floridian. You got Narcoossee's, Citrico's, and Victoria and Albert's that really aren't. Not that they're not kids friendly, but at least you have that. You go to the Contemporary, you have the California Grill. Polynesian, you got. I mean, you really only have
The
Kona
California
outside
Grill, I mean,
of it.
there
There is, but again, California Grill with the new room
It's
being
pretty
open in
spread
the back
out,
and
yeah,
stuff,
now
it's
it
spread
is,
out.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah, it
true.
is noisy, but you can at least somewhat get a little bit more of a quiet spot.
Yeah.
Morimoto's huge and noisy, but I think it still works for a date night.
Yeah, it's a good date night.
You go to Animal Kingdom, and again, Jico and Sanaa
Sanaa.
are
Yep,
that.
we were both thinking Sanaa.
And yeah, so we're doing Sanaa.
I was going to say,
Michelle
are we
has
doing
it
that soon?
Yes, in March
Yeah,
we're doing
okay.
it.
It's good.
And I'm gonna try my hardest, and I'm gonna try and figure out what's on the menu other than the bread service.
They have
Good
another
luck.
menu?
Just kidding.
I thought
Right.
it was all bread.
Carbs
I
all the
think
way.
that's it.
I thought
It's
it was
just bread
bread service all the
service.
way.
Dude, that
yeah.
bread service is incredible.
But what did you eat there? Do you have any idea?
Because
Do
all you remember
remember
is the bread.
That's all we remember.
That's why I say it's one of the.
That's
It's,
horrible,
it is
but
one of
I
the
know we
highest.
ate other
It
things.
is one of the highest
Yeah.
rated
Yeah.
restaurants there, and I've
Yeah.
never heard anybody talk about anything
About the
other than the
bread.
bread
What
service.
And everything
did
else.
we eat? Jeez, that's
I
horrible.
think
Gosh,
No,
John.
I think I had the buttered chicken, but I can't remember.
I don't
With your
remember.
bread? I thought you were going to say the buttered bread.
No, I did. Like I was still like, can I get more bread? I just want to dip it in this chicken.
We literally went back. We were
the
staying
next night with the kids, and we went to
'Cause it
the
was
bar.
so
to the
good.
bar
Yep.
because you could sit in there and
get the
you
bread
could get
service.
the bread service. Yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, other things.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
apps or whatever.
Yep.
But
And we got some other, but the second night what we loved is because you don't have to get the 14 different sauces with it. You can pick basically whatever combination you want. So we knew from the first night what we liked best, and then we picked those specifically for the next night. So we had plenty of them.
And we did sit by a window.
Yeah,
For the first night. Which was
yeah,
beautiful.
it was great the first
Very
night
beautiful.
with the kids and all.
Will y'all have the kids?
Yes, we will for that. Yacht and Beach, you have Yachtsman Steakhouse.
Yeah,
You go to Swan and Dolphin, and you have Blue Zoo, which I think is one of the best restaurants and probably most overlooked
Love
one at
Blue Zoo.
Disney. You have Il Molino. You have Shula's Steakhouse there as well. If I were to go into the Epcot and go above at Monsieur Paul's, downstairs in France is
Yeah.
Chefs de France. But if you go behind Chefs de France, that building, there's a staircase that goes upstairs, and there's a dining room up there that is a little bit, one, it's private. You're on the second level, so you're overlooking the walkways around Epcot, but the food is a step up. It would be something that you can get that would be a resort or a fine dining location
Yeah.
within the park. Le Cellier is another thing
Yum.
because it's more in that cave setting
So
or,
good.
or darker
Where's that
that it
one?
could be more, and that's at
Canada,
Canada in Epcot.
Okay.
So, Brown Derby at Hollywood Studios,
Yep.
Tiffin's at Animal Kingdom. I really don't think there's a great date night restaurant at Magic Kingdom, right? I think Be Our Guest is going to be more family and kids and whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed
but they're apparently
dinner-wise.
switching to a signature restaurant.
Yeah,
is
well,
the
yeah,
rumors.
we'll see.
Yep.
Tony's isn't that, and so you kind of don't have it there. But I think within the other parks, you have at least a decent restaurant.
But I'll tell
as
you,
well.
we sat outside at Tony's, and
that's
you
right,
can
yeah.
get wine there,
Yep.
and we got the
that's
perfect
fantastic.
table
Yeah, that looked
outside.
great.
And yeah, there's kids everywhere, but we were able to people watch and
Yeah.
everything, and I really liked it. I
Yeah.
mean, there you go, you got to do the 3, 2, 1 block out. But I loved sitting outside and having a glass of wine and having dinner.
Yep.
So I would have to say that I did like that restaurant as far as being able to go and have a drink and having a good dinner.
But if you're at Magic Kingdom, and while it's not Magic Kingdom, you know where I'm heading. If you want a quick shot over for a great date night dinner, for me, it's going to be the Wave, where we went with y'all.
I forgot. We didn't even talk about that.
I can't
Yeah.
stop.
It was.
Like,
It
I
was
can't
very
stop going
good.
back to the Wave. It was
Yeah,
so
it was.
unexpected and
Yeah.
so amazing
It
to
was.
me. And this will be the 30th time I've mentioned this. Bacon and Eggs app was amazing. Our meals were amazing. The drinks were great. Like the
We had the
atmosphere
children
was
as well,
good.
by
yeah.
the way.
The
And they were all
only thing I don't
fantastic.
like about it is the fact that you're closed in and there's not windows and there's no
Right,
kind
right.
of look to the outside world. But I think that is I think it's such a great
was. It
place
was
for a
good.
date night dinner that most people might not expect. And you're still right there on the monorail loop. You're still right there, near Magic Kingdom. One of the other places that now John and I didn't eat here, but we grabbed a drink a couple weeks ago at Enzo's Hideaway. I don't know how their food is going to be, but that looked like a really good date night spot. Like if you were to go there and get food.
Yeah.
And same thing with the Edison. Like those seem like two really good date night spots
And this is
that
at
you could
Disney
all
Springs.
encompass. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could do everything. Like you could get apps, you could get drinks, you could do a meal, and then you can go to the Edison or outside of all the other things we've talked about at Disney Springs for entertainment.
Where was the what's the name of the new place at Animal Kingdom that we had the tapas and the?
Yeah, so
Nomad?
that's the Nomad Lounge.
I
and then
liked that
Tiffin's-
place.
Tiffin's
Standing
is the
for a bar
restaurant.
and
Yeah.
lounge.
Yep.
I went there for the first time
We haven't mentioned that
by
either.
myself
Oh, yeah.
the other night
Thanks,
without
Dave.
Rhonda.
It was good.
And so they have a bread service. And I
Did you
mentioned
get
this
that?
before. Yeah, I told you about this.
You're in trouble.
So I got the. It's different than the Sanaa bread service. It has 3 different breads. It's like a pita, it's a fried wonton, and then it's like a, I don't know what type of like regular baked bread it was, and it has 3 sauces. 2 of the sauces were really, really good. The other one was the baba ganoush, and it tastes like Spaceship Earth smells.
That's right.
Oh,
you did
that's
tell
right.
me
Because you
that.
said that text.
That's like you just have to have it. It's weird, but it was again a great spot. And yeah, John, you mentioned Tiffin's. Would be another good area. One of the other places we love, and while it's not fancy and it's not going to be a romantic date night in a sense, was Geyser Point over at Wilderness
yeah.
Lodge.
But
We
if you do
absolutely
want
love it there.
But if you do want it to be more date night or more romantic, go up to Artist Point.
Yeah. So you could do, and then here's what I would
Absolutely.
do. A Wilderness Lodge only, I would do Territory Lounge for pre-dinner drinks, which is such a cool spot, and they do have some good appetizers. Do Artist Point for dinner, and then walk down to Geyser Point for after-dinner drinks, and then you're able to catch the fireworks right outside of Geyser Point over Magic Kingdom.
And also,
They have a hot tub.
back to the fireworks. The water parade. What is that? The electrical.
Yeah, the
Am I
electric
saying
water
this
parade
correct?
goes by there
Okay.
as well. So you can catch that at 10-ish each night, which is fun and just classic and old school.
Yeah.
We loved it there.
It was fantastic.
Like another place, and it was fun. Ron and I were talking about this earlier because we don't always go the fancy route. Like, as much as we love to sit down and have an amazing meal and just connect and all, we would totally do a date night at Hoop-de-Doo Review. Like, we just would. Like, to not worry about the kids and to just watch the show. Beer and wine are included. The food
really?
is good. Yeah, beer and wine are
wow.
included in the food is good. I mean, it's fried chicken and all, but for like a different date night where maybe you just want to throw on shorts and a t-shirt, I think that would also be a pretty cool place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you just need that too.
Exactly, yeah. And I think everything at Disney Springs, like, you're not going to miss at Disney Springs. I mean, there's
Well, speaking
you're
of
gonna miss
Disney
a couple
Springs,
places like
you
Bongos,
talked
but
about John being the king and wanting to go on a date with him. It sounds like you already did.
we did have a good date night.
We
that
did.
was nice.
We did.
We had drinks at Enzo's. We went to the Edison. We watched a freestyle
No,
rap
that's
group.
That's not true.
And
We
how
had-
much did you spend
we had-
on
we-
your
we-
on your anniversary kit that night?
It was no
we had
Victoria and Albert's.
we had drinks at Enzo's.
Oh, whoa, that's
and
right.
then we
did
went and
Star
did
Wars.
the Star Wars
Oh, yeah.
virtual reality
When
experience.
I got scared, John held me. It
then
was perfect.
then we went to the Edison
Yeah.
and had a cozy little table for two.
So not only is it
then-
date night, there's also man hangout
Man
night, right?
There is
That's
man
right.
night.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's so funny because on my list of entertainment,
night.
I had Star Wars. I had the Star Wars Secrets of the Empire. Like, I want to take Rhonda to do that. Kaylin can do it. She's old enough. She's 10. Lacey can't do it. So we
Yeah.
can't do it as a family of 4. We can't do it as a family
And
of
you
3.
can't do kid swap there, can
Right.
you?
No.
Yeah, right.
And
I
Lacey's
wish.
sitting out, so I would love to do it with just her, and maybe we'll do it our anniversary weekend. And again, you have House of Blues at
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
Springs, so if there's a good concert, we've
Oh,
done
yeah.
Disney date night
done
at
that.
House of Blues. We stayed at Port Orleans
Yep.
French Quarter.
We did.
We didn't even
took the
talk
boat
about
over.
House of Blues in our concert night.
Yeah, we saw 21 Pilots, and
When they were
we went
really
for
young.
drinks.
Yep.
And you guys have done
We
House
saw
of Blues as
Fitz.
well.
Fitz
Yeah,
and the Tantrums, our
exactly.
favorite, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and I think that's so quickly overlooked.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I mean, I think, and then the last one, which I think would be really good for entertainment, is Yeehaw Bob. If you can go over to
Oh, yeah.
Port Orleans and check out Yeehaw Bob. Now, while this is family friendly, and they do, you can allow kids. Again, it's a great spot though to go. I think as just a date night.
It is. But
We were okay. We liked
great with
boat
the
rights. Like that gets a bad rap. Like you like. I think John, you like boat rights pretty well. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap.
Yeah.
I thought our waiter was good, and I thought the food for what it was plentiful
Yeah.
and no problems at all. So, yeah, I've had good experiences at boat
Michelle
rides.
has
It's a
different
meh
opinion.
for me.
Yeah. And again, like
Boat rides?
I'm broken record guy who always talks about the same thing. We split meals so much. Like we'll split appetizers, we'll split meals, we'll split dessert. So we went to boat rides and only really had 3 things, but we liked them all. And then we were there for our anniversary night, and she took note of that and brought us out a glass of champagne, on the house at the end, and we had
with
the little
the Tinkerbell,
the Tinkerbell and the Buzz Lightyear
like,
clip-ons.
for what the kids get. Usually.
So that, like to us, that was really cool.
Right.
All right, so let's say you're not at Disney, but you're at home and you want to have a Disney-related date night. No kids. Like, what would you do to kind of bring? And we did a couple episodes ago. We did how you bring the magic home from Disney when you're not there. How would you do it specifically if you're not at Disney but you want to have a date night and you want to incorporate that Disney feel, other than the crab salad stuffed avocados that John gave us earlier tonight, which made me feel like I was at Food and Wine Fest.
Grab a Disney cookbook.
Yeah.
I mean, how many amazing cookbooks are there from Disney or
Oh,
the
yeah.
chefs at Disney? So grab something, pick out your favorite meal, or talk about a night that you went out and had an amazing meal that you remember,
Yeah.
and have your husband make it.
And just relive it.
Note
Yeah.
that your husband needs to
Yep.
make it.
And while he's making it, John can play D Parks Radio in the
That's
monorail loop.
There you go.
In the
There
monorail
you go.
loop.
It's
Right.
like you're literally at Disney, monorail loop, Disney cookbook. I think that sounds perfect.
Yeah,
Can I have the monorail playing on the
I guess.
8.5 minutes?
But I mean, for us, we've got our
For
wine glasses
Month.
from
Yeah.
Food and Wine.
Yeah.
We've got our plates from Party for the Senses that you can
That's
stick
right.
your wine
Yep.
glass in. We even have the china.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So just grab your cookbook and make it at home.
All right. So ultimate Disney date night movie at home. What Disney movie do you think you would play? Because I would say, for me, I think it would be Enchanted.
You'd be Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I started saying now
so
that the
good.
new things are
Animated
out.
or new?
New.
Animated or live action new?
That was
Yeah.
I'm with
amazing.
Michelle.
Yeah.
I
Good
agree.
Lord,
It
that
was
was
amazing.
amazing.
Could watch it a million times.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe the computer that wore tennis shoes.
That would be, yeah.
What?
Herbie?
Exactly.
Herbie
Yeah.
the Love Bug?
Yeah.
That would be
Nobody-
John's pick. Would be
nobody
Herbie
will
the
know
Love
that one,
Bug.
but-
The
so-
computer that wore tennis shoes.
So
We
anybody
love
who
you, John.
anybody who listens to this, you have to go back and look and see that
outstanding.
movie that I'm sure came out in the 70s with.
You're showing your
Kurt
age,
Russell.
babe.
Yeah. That's what. Well, after you guys do Victoria and Albert's,
John,
he
you're
didn't
way
tell
younger
you,
than that, right?
He's bringing the DVD player to the room, and you guys are watching
Great.
the computer that wore shoes. So.
All right.
Wore
But-
tennis shoes. Yeah.
Well, again, this has been awesome. We're having so much fun. This was great.
And
Probably
if-
go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, if anything, just get in touch with us and we'll just go with you guys on your date
That sounds
nights,
perfect.
right?
There
Yeah.
you go.
And show you the
Tour
way.
guide? Yeah, they would have to cover the cost.
We
I
are
think.
taking tour. Yeah, but we're taking tours.
That's going to be the new thing. The Main Street Magic Disney Date Night Tour would be absolutely perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, as always, you got to make sure you go out to iTunes. If you subscribe, please leave us a rating and review. Lilo thinks that you should definitely leave us a rating and review. And check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com. And then go out on Facebook and Twitter at mainstmagic and join the conversation. I think that's all we got. We'll see you real soon.